As I was saying, you do get to learn a new language, and it is a lot easier to learn a new language if you're living in the country that it's from. However, you do have to still put effort into it. I know one guy who learned to be almost natively fluent within a year and a half of living in Japan. I'm definitely not on that level yet because I didn't put nearly as much work into it as he did. He studied for 2 hours every day, just Japanese. I can't do that. I can't focus that long. But if you're into it that much, you can become fluent that quickly. It's possible. If you're like me and you can't study or focus for that long, I have the attention span of a squirrel, then it might take a little bit longer, but I would definitely say it is easier for you to learn a new language if you're living in the country that it's from. So yes, I did learn to be a lot more fluent in Japanese. And no, I'm not fluent yet, but I am working on it. For all those who keep on asking me if I'm fluent in Japanese now, no. Another pro that I absolutely love about living in a new country, especially going to a school that offers an English undergraduate program, is all the people from different countries that you get to meet. I know just going to my really tiny school in Saitama, I met people from Zimbabwe, from Qatar, from Guam, from like China, Taiwan, South Korea, Indonesia, Macau. There's so many people with so many different languages and cultures for you to learn from. If you're really into learning about new cultures like I am, you can always ask people around you, and I'm sure they're free to share. I love having so many international friends because I can just ask them like, oh, when's the best time to visit your country? I want to come. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, let me stay at your house. But yeah, having international friends is absolutely amazing, and I love every single one of them. Of course, there are times when you're gonna have cultural differences with them, and that might happen. And cultural differences can get a little bit tricky because they might make you disagree with them or have fights with them. I know I personally became estranged from one girl in my group because apparently I talk too much. Yes, I do. Apparently she thinks that I talk too much and that I interrupt people too much, but with the group of friends that I grew up with, that's just kind of how we talked. So I really can't change that. It's kind of too late to change my personality at this point, I feel like. And I do have a lot of friends who love me for who I am. So I'm really grateful to have those friends. And of course I don't hate that girl for having problems with me. It's just something that happens going to an international school. Another pro of going to an international school is that you get to explore a new country. Wow, who would have thought of that? But yeah, so being in Japan, I visited so many places, maybe not all the touristy places because I don't really like going to touristy places. But yeah, there are so many different places that you can explore in Japan. And I've been to a lot of them. I've been to Tokyo Disneyland, I've been to Yokohama, I've been to Kyoto, I've been to Osaka, I've been to Hiroshima, and I've been to so many different places that you could possibly imagine. And I would have never gotten the experience to visit all these places if I hadn't come here for college. And that's gonna sound really weird, but when you're on a trip, you're always rushing around trying to get everything in one day so you can move on to the next thing. And you're always trying to like choose different things out of all the different things there is to do. Being here for 4 years, I know I have the time to visit all the things that I want to, so I'm really grateful to have been able to come to college here, and I'm just really happy with where I am. And the last thing and the most important thing that I think I got out of studying abroad so far in a different country is that I've learned to be more open-minded. And by this I mean before I left to go to Japan, I was a really hot-tempered person. If somebody did something that I disagreed with, I would always get really angry, dislike them, maybe yell at them if they got up in my face about it. But now I do believe that I've become a more patient person. I'm more open-minded about a lot of things, not only different personality types, but different culture types. And I have run into a lot of examples where I think something just isn't culturally acceptable in my culture, like American culture, but it might be culturally acceptable in another culture. So I've run into a lot of those situations, and just from that, I just believe that I've become a lot more open-minded in thinking about things. For example, there was a new kid this semester, I'm not gonna mention any names again, but he was talking to some of these Japanese girls. And Japanese in general are pretty conservative, so unless you are really straightforward that you're not interested in a girl, you already have a girlfriend, or maybe you guys have been friends for a long time, they can get the wrong idea and think you're hitting on them. Especially with this guy, he tended to be a little bit more flirtatious with girls, and these girls thought that they were trying to hit on him. I'm not sure if he was really trying to hit on them or not. I didn't ask him, but these girls decide to start ignoring him. And in Japanese culture, this is really common. If you're a guy and you're gonna come visit Japan and you really want a Japanese girlfriend, just know that if a girl starts ignoring you, it's not her trying to be all standoffish, like, ew, he's not good enough for me. Ignoring a guy that's interested in them is just a very Japanese girl thing to do. They think that by ignoring the guy, that the guy will go away or maybe start liking another girl. And then after the guy decides that he likes another girl, the girl will become friends with the guy again. So it's not anything that they're trying to offend you or avoid you, it's just kind of a cultural thing to do. This second semester student, his Japanese girls who were friends started to ignore him or not try to hang out with him as much, and he was really offended by this. He decided to use some very choice words about these girls, saying that they were not very nice and how dare they kind of thing. Oh, I don't like Japanese people, they're always so rude kind of thing. And of course, this isn't everybody. Not everybody learns to understand Japanese things. They might start to hate Japan. But from my standpoint personally, I think that every wrongdoing that anybody does in a culture that I don't understand, I think about it at first. If it could possibly be a cultural aspect, I definitely ask my Japanese friends, or I think on it a bit, and then that's when I decide to whether they're just a bad person or if they wronged me or if it's just a cultural thing. And a lot of the times it's just a cultural thing. I'm not gonna say every time it is, because there definitely are some times that I've run into people who are not preferably in my friend group anymore. But if it is a cultural thing, I would definitely say give them a second chance, try to understand it a lot more, and you're gonna have a better time in Japan. And through that, you're gonna definitely learn how to become more open-minded about different cultures and have such a better time in any culture and any country that you decide to visit. And I think by becoming open-minded, people will definitely start to love the country more and more, like I have started to. So I think becoming open-minded is an amazing pro of living in a foreign country. So that's it for today's video, and I hope you guys liked my 5 pros and cons about living in a foreign country for college. If you guys have any other questions, please leave them in the comment box below. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, that always helps. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'm gonna be posting videos every week, so please make sure to check back in. And as always, thank you so much for watching my videos and keeping up with my life. Love you guys, bye!